Ethan had always been a creature of habit. Every morning, he took the 7:45 a.m. train to work, a routine so ingrained in his life that he barely noticed the world around him. But one fateful evening, as he returned home late from the office, something changed. The station was unusually empty. The digital boards flickered, showing train schedules, yet the usual chatter of commuters was eerily absent. A strange hush settled over the platform. Then, a train rumbled in. Not the usual city train, but an old, rusted locomotive, its carriages weathered and covered in graffiti. The headlights gleamed in the dark like staring eyes. Curious, and with no other train in sight, Ethan stepped on board. The moment he entered, a chill ran down his spine. The air smelled of dust and time, and the seats were made of worn-out velvet. A few passengers sat silently, their faces half hidden in shadow, their expressions unreadable. The train doors shut with a loud hiss, and the engine roared to life. Ethan grabbed a seat by the window, staring out at the dark tunnel ahead. But something was wrong. The train wasn't following the usual route. It wasn't stopping at the familiar stations. Ethan stood up and approached an old man sitting nearby. "Excuse me, do you know where this train is headed?" he asked. The man slowly turned his head, his eyes dull and distant. "The forgotten line," he murmured. Ethan frowned. "What does that mean?" Another passenger, a woman in an old-fashioned dress, looked at him with sorrowful eyes. "This train doesn't go where you expect. It goes where it's needed." A shiver ran down Ethan's spine. He pulled out his phone, but there was no signal. The carriage lights flickered, and the train picked up speed. Through the window, the city disappeared, replaced by an unfamiliar landscape. A vast, mist-covered forest stretching endlessly into the night. Panic gripped him. "This isn't right. I need to get off." The woman shook her head. "No one gets off until the train allows it." Ethan's breath quickened. He ran toward the door at the end of the carriage, trying to pry it open, but it wouldn't budge. He turned back to the passengers. "What is this place? Who are you people?" The old man sighed. "We are those who were forgotten. Passengers of time. Lost souls. And now, so are you." Ethan's pulse pounded. "No, this isn't real. I just got on a train home." The woman gave him a sad smile. "Do you remember how you got here?" Ethan hesitated. His memory blurred. He remembered the empty station, the flickering lights, but had he even checked the train schedule? Had he ever seen this train before? The train whistled, the sound echoing like a ghostly wail. The mist outside thickened, and suddenly, shadows moved within it. Dark figures, watching, waiting. Ethan's skin crawled. "What happens if I stay on this train?" The old man leaned in, whispering, "You become part of it, just like the rest of us." A cold realization sank in. He had to escape. Now, he ran through the carriages, searching for anything, a conductor, an emergency exit, a way out. But the further he ran, the more distorted the train became. The seats shifted, elongating, twisting. The passengers' faces blurred, their whispers filling the air. Then he saw it, an old exit door at the back of the last carriage. Heart pounding, he rushed toward it, gripping the handle. Locked. A voice behind him whispered, "Are you sure you want to leave?" He spun around. The woman stood there, her face no longer sorrowful, but curious. "If you leave, you might never understand why you were brought here." Ethan hesitated. "Why was I brought here?" She stepped closer. "Because someone remembers you. Someone who shouldn't." The train lurched, and suddenly, memories flooded Ethan's mind. His childhood, a friend long forgotten, a promise left unfulfilled. A boy named Daniel, his best friend who had disappeared when they were children. Ethan had moved on, but Daniel never had. The train slowed. The station emerged from the mist, a lonely, abandoned platform with a single figure standing there. A boy. Ethan's heart clenched. It was Daniel, the same age he had been when he vanished, staring at Ethan with pleading eyes. "You left me behind," Daniel whispered. Tears filled Ethan's eyes. "I didn't mean to." The train doors hissed open. "This is your stop," the woman said gently. Ethan took a shaky breath and stepped off the train. The mist swirled around him, and Daniel reached out a hand. "Come with me." As Ethan took his hand, a rush of warmth filled him, memories clicking into place. The train whistled one last time, then disappeared into the night. Ethan woke up on the station bench. The city lights flickered, the usual crowd bustling past him. His phone buzzed. The 7:45 a.m. train was arriving, but he knew he would never take it again. Some trains are not meant to be boarded twice.